Okay, so you're heading to Indonesia and you're going to do a little bit of bike riding. So I've just put together a little video for you to give you some sort of idea of what to do and what not to do. Hang on, we've got a bus coming here. Away they go. A little bit different riding in Indonesia than in most Western countries, especially Australia. I've got to point out that there's not a lot of road rage here. People do some horrendous things and some stupid things, but they don't seem to get angry about it for some reason. And you know, when I first came here, I tried to accept it, and after a while, yeah, it was just a joke. Going for a ride on a bike was a bit of a laugh because of all the stupid things that they do. So you just got to be aware of. Only takes a day or two to be aware of what some of their little habits are on the bike, riding around, and yeah, the awareness is the big thing. To anticipate what's happening in front of you and in front of the driver that's in front of you, and you know, you usually get on pretty well. The idea is not to speed. You come here for a holiday, so why speed around? If you want to be a hoon, you might as well stay in Kuta. Rest of the place seems to be all right. But to enjoy yourself, just cruise around 20, 25 kilometres an hour. You won't go much faster than that with the traffic that's here. And you know, when there's a traffic jam, don't be too concerned about it, because you know, you might wait 1 or 2 minutes, but you'll get through. You know, and there's no big drama. No use tooting your horn and going crazy over it. Just wait till this car passes. You know, there's no use tooting your horn and going crazy about it, because it's certainly not going to help you. The Indonesians will just look at you and say, "Who's this weird prick?" You know. So just take it easy. Out on the highway, or when I say highway, out on the country roads, your speed increases to about 60 kilometres an hour. I wouldn't go over that, because some of the roads are not the finest. There's a few potholes here and there, and if you hit one of those over 60 kilometres an hour, you'll probably find that you'll end up in the next postcode. So take it real easy on that one. And the traffic, you've got to be careful of traffic, especially when you're going through the mountains and stuff like that, is that they have a habit of passing on bends. I don't know why, but maybe because the other cars are slowing down to go around the corner, but they seem to want to pass on bends. So be particularly aware of that, and keep the left-hand side of the road as far as possible, and be prepared to stop or slow down and get out of their way, because it's not only motorbikes or cars doing it, there's buses and trucks that will do it too. So you don't want to get tangled up with one of them. If you watch the video all the way through, there's a few tips in there that, you know, it just gives you an idea of what it's like riding through, mainly through the city here in Denpasar. The video's about, so I haven't done one on the country roads because I don't think it's really that necessary. If you cruise around the country roads 50 or 60 kilometres an hour, you really still got to keep alert. It's not like cruising on a highway, you know, fully fledged highway. It's roads are narrow, and there's everything going everywhere. So it is an experience, I've got to admit. But I've been here 10 years, and I've enjoyed every moment of it. There's been, you know, obviously there's been a few times that I've got a bit angry with people on the road, but as I said, they just look at you and think you're a crazy man if you start yabbering at them. So just shut your mouth and just keep going. It's about all you can do. They're not going to get raged about it. Or some of the young ones might nowadays. Times are changing, but most of the time everything's fine. So I hope you watch the video through and get some ideas, and come over and enjoy your stay. It's a terrific place. Okay, so this is a typical downtown Denpasar street. This is the main street in Denpasar. on a Saturday morning, so you get an idea of what it's like. So some of the problems here are when you're going down the inside of the traffic, there's people coming out from between the cars. Now if there's a bit of a gap in between the cars, it's not so bad, you can see them, but when they're bundled up, you haven't got a clue and they just jut straight out in front of you. Consequently, you've got to stop pretty quick or you're in an accident. But they don't seem to want to, when they pull out, they don't seem to want to stop and have a look to see if somebody's coming. They just come straight out at you. The same as for the left-hand side too. So as we go along, you'll probably see people coming out from my left straight into the mainstream of traffic, but they don't have a look around to their right. Seems to be a given right that they can just go straight through, and you've got to give way. And another thing is, I know the rules in Australia are, keep as near as possible to the left-hand side. Well, if you give it 1 or 2 feet from the side of the gutter here, well, somebody's going to sneak in straight through and pass you on the inside. Now they get the skills to do it, but they seem to be able to get away with it all right. The other thing is when you're heading towards traffic lights, traffic light might turn red, but you've probably got about 5 seconds of people still coming in from your left-hand side, so another thing you've got to watch out for. They seem to have an uncanny idea of when the lights are going to change, because you see a lot of them take off while the light's still on red, and they've gone around the corner and halfway down the street, and then the lights change green, so they seem to know to time it right. And there's another one driving on the wrong side of the road, going the wrong way. So a lot of one-way streets in Bali, a lot of one-way streets in Indonesia actually, but they don't seem to give a shit about coming up the other way. Just part and parcel with the driving. Here we go, it's on orange. Somebody's already tooted the horn to get going. They seem to do that because they think people are going to go to sleep at the traffic lights. But they're not really asleep, they're looking at their phones. The big factor here is riding around or driving around with the use of their hand phones. So, I don't know how they do it, but they seem to get away with it. Now I'm a couple of feet away from the gutter here. There's a bloke coming up on my inside. Have a look at this. He's not sure about me. I'll give him a bit of space now. So that's how they go. They just scream up on the inside. Now the idea here is to get up here. This is one of the advantages of a motorbike in Indonesia, is the fact that you can go down this way, but it's fraught with danger at times. And you'll see this fella here just cut in like that. No problem, didn't even look to see if anybody was coming. I seem to have this will to be in front all the time, so God knows why. First time I've seen somebody use a crosswalk, zebra crossing. so you can just barely see it. I have an idea to save Indonesia a lot of money, and that's forget about painting white lines on the road, because nobody seems to obey it. Here we go, we've got a... Yeah, nobody seems to obey the white lines. They just go wherever they want to. I think of all the money they'd save by not painting white lines on the road. No such thing as a single file as well, you know. But, you know, you learn to live with it. You get these, most of the roads in Indonesia are very small. And, you know, you've got to sort of, if somebody parks, they obviously know where to park. You wouldn't think about parking on the footpath. So that creates a hold-up for other traffic coming through. And you'll get trucks and everything parked here. Now here's a situation, this bloke's slowing down. Now it's all clear. And you come through here. Over this bump. Now this is where you'll possibly get somebody coming out between the cars. So it's fraught with a bit of danger. You see the people going up the outside there. Well, if they look like, if they can see, it looks like they're going to get jammed up there, they'll come from the, come around and try and get on the inside here. There's one coming up now, you'll have a look. But anyway, it's the way it is. If you spot a rider on the outside of you, on your right hand side, amongst all this traffic, and he's slowing down, there's a good chance he's going to beat in between this traffic and upset you. But you can see the row of traffic here now, and on the bike you can zap through on the inside. It's not a bad idea, but you just got to be careful, as I say. Now these lights turn orange, most people would stop. This fella goes straight through, so I'll go with him. Probably no use putting globes in those red lights either, I suppose. Nobody takes any notice of them, including myself. Which I shouldn't do, but when in Rome. This is another set of lights that, although it's green now, but when it's red for the arrow turning left, nobody takes any notice. They just go straight around the corner, or they cut through this little shopping centre here and come out the other side there. And you'll see a bit of a hold up here. And you'll see everybody coming from the lane. They all seem to want to double park. Get through, they've got to get through. Okay, it's all clear. The other thing is here, it's law to ride with a helmet, and as you can see in front of me, nobody wants to wear a helmet. There's just no policing, you know. I hardly ever see any police on the road. If they are, they're escorting some dignitary to lunch, or some official do. But you don't see them pulling people over for not wearing helmets and stuff like that. Sad thing. Now, when you see somebody slow down like this, you just don't know what they're going to do. So you really got to keep an eye on them and try and anticipate what they're going to do, but you never know. As you can see, the narrow streets, if somebody parks on the side of the road, boils down to one lane only. I'd just pull off the side of the road. Indicating your turns is another bit of a problem here. Everybody seems to want to just go where they want to go. Here we go. I'm not trying to turn into the head of traffic. Unbelievable they are. I have noticed in Australia people driving and coming out from the left or the right, if there's a car coming down the way I'm going, if it's not half a mile away they won't cross over or get onto the road, whereas here if it's half a car away, away you go. It's got no problem at all. And that's because the attitude of the Indonesian driver is to give way the best they can, you know. I mean, a lot of them don't, but the majority of them will slow down and let you get through. And if you start to force your way through, they'll slow down. Even in, you know, on the bigger highways, the bigger roads, not that there's many, but on the bigger roads they will they have a tendency to slow down to let you through. But the worst part about a lot of Indonesia is all these roadside stalls. People don't pull off the road to get something to eat, they just pull up in the gutter there, no signal or anything like that, and do their shopping, buy a bit of whatever they want to eat, off they go again. It just holds up all the traffic. Motorbikes are the worst thing for it, you know, the worst culprits for it, but I have seen cars pull up and, you know, they block the traffic. It's because the streets are so small, and there's no way in the world that they'll ever make these streets any wider, because as you can see, they've got a footpath and then trees and houses. Nobody's going to sell up their land just to make the road wider. They'll put up with it. So I've got a feeling that Bali itself will be gridlocked in a couple of years. As you can see now, it's, you know, not a lot of room to move. There we go. Now this plate stopped for some reason. There's probably someone wants to turn right up here. But the ones coming around from the left, don't let them through. So yeah, there you go. So the ones on the left don't let them through, so that holds up all this traffic. The thing is, a 50-50. They're here we go, see? I'll wave at a hand, slow me down. Someone trying to sneak up on me inside here. Get out here. As you can see, there's plenty of motorbikes. Not quite as bad as Vietnam or Saigon. But a lot of Saigon and Vietnam have got a lot wider streets, so traffic can seem to disperse fairly rapidly. Well, I wouldn't say rapidly, but you know, on the whole, if you just take it easy with this mob, it's usually pretty right. Not very often you get over 60 kilometres an hour, even on the main roads. So what's that, 35 mile an hour in the old book? So really, if you're patient enough, it's fine. I have no qualms about They're going anywhere. Another thing I find funny here is that, you know, although they're very family orientated, their kids, and look at this bloke just pushing in, but unbelievable. They're very family orientated, but you'll see a lot of adults wearing helmets. They pick their kids up from school, but they don't worry about getting helmets for the kids. And you think the kids would be the most precious thing they've got, but they don't seem to do it. You don't see too many kids with helmets on. I'll go up through these lights up here and then come around the other road. Yeah, so it's pretty sad thing when you see a kid's head splattered all over the road. And you know, the statistics show it. There's accidents every day, kids being killed and even adults being killed. If you go to Sanglar Hospital here, they'll give you a good idea of what's going on. Yeah, there was a surgeon from here once wrote a few articles in the paper about the amount of kids being killed in accidents, motorbike accidents, because of not wearing helmets. And here in Bali, one of the seniors in the police force wanted to bring out a strict ruling that they fine people for not wearing helmets. And the old tradition was that excuse me. The old tradition was at Balinese, because they do ceremonies, the blokes wear these, I forget what they call them, udungs or something like that. Get it mixed up with prawns, so udung and udung. But anyway, so they don't wear helmets. Anyway, she said that you can take that little hat off and put it back on when you get to your destination. And oh, was there an uproar? Unbelievable. Balinese people screaming all over the place, saying it's part of our costume or part of our national dress. But I'd rather think that it'd be safer to get your head on the road with a crash helmet on than one of those things, with a bit of cloth around your head. And as for the safety of these helmets that you buy here, this one's from Australia, but the helmets that you buy are like eggshells, so you don't put a lot of faith in them. So one big tip, I suppose, if you're coming over here for a few weeks and you're going to hire a motorbike, my suggestion is to bring an Australian standards helmet with you. Carry it on like luggage, use it as a handbag if you want to, but it's certainly going to save you if you have a bit of an accident. In 10 years that I've been here, I've had one accident. That was at about 2 or 3 kilometres an hour. The bike fell on my leg and just cut my leg. 15 stitches. That wasn't very nice. Now I've got a deep gouge in my leg that I can rave on about how I got a shark attack or something like that. Noticed in the video they took a bit of meat out, so not a pretty sight, but at least I had my helmet on and all good. The head did hit the road, so but I think here if your head hit the road with one of these Indonesian helmets on, depending on how hard you hit it, but if it did hit the road, I'd be buying a new one. There'd be infinite cracks in there that just see how they all move in. And like here's doing a bit of sightseeing while he's on the bike, no problem. Yeah, so that's a little bit about the safety, and in Indonesia. You just got to ride, you know, with anticipation is probably the major thing, is to anticipate what they're going to do. And I suppose with the experience of 10 years riding around, I can anticipate most moves, but still a few creep up on you, I can tell you. And to take your eye off the road is unbelievable. When I had that accident of mine, excuse me, when I had that accident of mine, there was a couple on a motorbike on my left-hand side that I was passing. I was only, as I say, I was only doing a couple of kilometres an hour, but they had two little babies on board, so I thought, well, I'll take care here. And so I just looked over to make sure I didn't cut them off or anything like that. Next thing you know, the bloke in front of me stopped because somebody was turning right up the front, so, you know, obviously it stops all the traffic. And I ran into the back of him. We had 2 or 3 kilometres an hour, but the bike fell over on top of me and just cut my leg. There was something underneath the bike that cut my leg. I don't know what it was. But you know, that happens. So to take your eye off the road is, you don't want to go do too much sightseeing while you're riding in traffic. Out on the open road it's probably not so bad, but roads are not much better out there. But still, it's an enjoyable way to get around. So that'll just about do it for a little trip around Bali. I'll pull up here and take this camera off. Look like a dork with it on. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and might see you on the road somewhere in Indonesia. So yeah, enjoy yourself.